Have you ever poured your heart and soul into a marriage, only to have it shattered by the one person you trusted most? That's what happened to me. This isn't just a story about betrayal. It's about the painful but powerful lessons learned when love turns into a lie. My name is Mark, and for 15 years I thought I had it all. A beautiful wife, Sarah, 2 amazing kids, a nice home, and a stable career. We were that couple everyone looked up to, the one that seemed to have figured it all out, so I thought. Our story began in college. Sarah was vibrant, full of life, and her laughter could fill any room. I was instantly smitten. We were inseparable, building our future on a foundation of what I believed was mutual love and respect. After we got married, life felt perfect. I worked hard to provide for my family, often taking on extra projects to ensure they had everything they needed. Sarah was a fantastic mother, and our home was filled with warmth and joy. I never once questioned her loyalty. Why would I? We were a team. The first crack in our perfect world appeared subtly. It started with her phone. Sarah, who once left her phone lying around without a care, suddenly guarded it like a state secret. It was always face down, always silenced, and always with her. When I casually asked her about it, she'd laugh it off, saying she was just trying to be less distracted by notifications. I accepted her explanation. I trusted her. But then the late nights began. She started joining a new book club that met twice a week, often coming home well past midnight. When I asked about the books they were reading, her answers were vague. "Oh, just some modern fiction," she'd say, quickly changing the subject. The distance between us grew. Our conversations became superficial, revolving only around the kids and household chores. The intimacy we once shared faded into a polite, roommate-like existence. I tried to bridge the gap. I planned date nights, suggested weekend getaways, and tried to talk to her about what was wrong. Each time, she'd insist everything was fine. "You're just stressed from work, Mark," she'd say. "We're fine," but we weren't fine. I could feel her slipping away, and I was terrified. I felt a growing knot of anxiety in my stomach, a constant hum of dread that something was terribly wrong. I started losing sleep, replaying our conversations in my head, searching for clues I might have missed. The breaking point came on our 15th anniversary. I'd planned a surprise romantic dinner at the restaurant where I first proposed. I'd arranged for my parents to watch the kids and had a special gift waiting for her. I spent the entire day filled with a hopeful excitement, believing this one night could bring us back to each other. I texted her that afternoon, telling her to be ready by 7 for a special surprise. Her reply was a simple, "Okay." 7 o'clock came and went, then 8. I called her phone, and it went straight to voicemail. I called again and again, my panic rising with each unanswered ring. At 9:30, she finally walked through the door. She looked flustered, her hair slightly messy. She didn't have her work bag with her. "I'm so sorry, Mark," she said, avoiding my eyes. "My car broke down on the freeway. My phone died. It was a total nightmare." The excuse sounded plausible, but my gut screamed that it was a lie. The trust I had clung to for so long finally snapped. That night, after she fell asleep, I did something I never thought I'd do. I picked up her phone. It was locked, of course. But years of watching her tap in her passcode had burned the pattern into my memory. My hands were shaking as I unlocked it, and there it was, a world of betrayal laid bare in a string of text messages. A conversation with a man named Alex, her book club friend. The messages were filled with "I love yous," with plans for secret meetings, with intimate details of their time together. They had been seeing each other for over a year, a whole year. My world collapsed. Every memory, every shared laugh, every "I love you" from the past year felt like a lie. I felt a physical pain in my chest, a hollowness so profound I could barely breathe. Oh, the woman I had built my life with, the mother of my children, was a stranger. I confronted her the next morning. I didn't scream or yell. I was eerily calm, the kind of calm that comes after the storm has already destroyed everything. I simply placed her phone on the kitchen table, opened to the messages, and asked, "Who is Alex?" The color drained from her face. For the first time in months, she looked at me, really looked at me, and her eyes filled with tears. The excuses and denials finally stopped. She confessed everything. He was a coworker who made her feel seen and excited. She said she hadn't planned for it to happen, but she didn't stop it either. Her words were like daggers. She tried to apologize, to explain, but it was all just noise. The marriage I had cherished was a lie. The foundation wasn't just cracked, it was non-existent. In that moment, I made the hardest decision of my life. I told her it was over. The weeks that followed were a blur of pain, lawyers, and heart-wrenching conversations with our children. Telling them was the worst part. Seeing the confusion and hurt in their eyes broke me in a way her affair never could. I moved out, and the house we had built together became just a property to be divided. The divorce process was brutal. Sarah fought me on everything, from custody to finances. The woman who had claimed to love someone else was now trying to take everything from me. It was during this dark period that I realized the first painful lesson. Love and trust, once broken, can rarely be pieced back together in the same way. And sometimes, the person you loved can turn into a stranger you have to fight in a courtroom. It was ugly, and it was draining. But slowly, with the support of my family and a few close friends, I started to heal. I focused on my kids, on being the most stable and present father I could be. I started going to therapy to process the anger and the grief, and that's where I learned the second, more important lesson. My entire identity had been wrapped up in being a husband and a provider. I had worked so hard to give my family a good life that I had forgotten to take care of myself. I had ignored my own hobbies, my own friends, and my own needs. I realized that my self-worth couldn't be dependent on someone else's love or approval. It's been 2 years since the divorce. It hasn't been easy, but life is different now. It's quieter, but it's also more honest. I have a new, smaller place that feels like my own. I have 50/50 custody of my kids, and our relationship is stronger than ever. I've reconnected with old friends and discovered new hobbies. I've started dating again, cautiously, but with a new understanding of what I want and what I deserve. My painful lesson taught me that you can't control another person's actions, but you can control how you react. You can choose to let betrayal destroy you, or you can choose to rebuild yourself, stronger and wiser than before. If you're going through something similar, know that you are not alone. The pain feels insurmountable right now, but it will get better. Focus on yourself, lean on your support system, and don't be afraid to ask for help. It's okay to be broken for a little while. That's how the light gets in. This journey has taught me to value my own happiness and to never again lose myself in someone else. The scars are there, but they are a reminder of the strength I found when my world fell apart. And for that, in a strange way, I am grateful. Thank you for listening to my story. If it resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Take care.